Welcome back to the Game Challenger YouTube channel. Remember, it's the Game Challenger UK YouTube channel. And guess what? We've been talking about cash, and we've been talking about whether it's king or is it dead. Now, thank you very much for all of you that were on part one. But today, the talk discussion is going to heat up. We've got Rosanna, our special guest, and we've got Boss here, and we've got Joe ready in the studio to start from on your marks, get set, go. So as soon as I finish this, we're going. No introductions, we're going straight in there. But before we go straight into there, please, if you haven't subscribed already, click on the subscribe and notify button. Also, if you like what you see, like it, comment, and also share with your friends and family. So that's me, Tony. I think we go straight into cash is king or dead. Over to the studio.
So Rosanna, I'll go to you first. So what is it that you like to be, not to be biased? What is it that you like about digital?
Oh, about digital. Are you talking about digital fiat or digital in general?
Fiat, yeah, just fiat.
Fiat, what do I like? Okay, the convenience, you forgot your purse, you can use, your watch, you can use your phone. We're lazy people, isn't it? So you can't be bothered. So it's like, oh, let me touch with the phone. It has its pros and its cons, but let's say it's convenient, it's safe because you don't carry cash. So if someone wants money, you haven't got any. It also, if you have a lot of, I said as it is, but you have beggars that are looking for help. You can't, sometimes we don't know if it's real, which is not real. So it put you in a position where it's like, I'm sorry, I don't carry cash. I don't have cash. It's sad, but this is what it's doing to us. In a way, I think maybe for businesses like shops, it might be a protection because how can you steal? How can your staff steal cash? How can people come and steal because there's nothing to steal? It's not there. And on the other side, yes, it's easy to lose track of how much you spend, and then people obviously go into debt, and then it's a circle, it's a vicious circle. So yeah.
Okay, thanks. And Bosse, quickly, before I go to Joe.
Yeah, I think a lot of what Rosanna said, I'd probably have to kind of like second that. I think digital, again, is convenient. It allows you to, see where you're spending your money via the intelligence of it, the reporting of it. Because I told you my bank will tell me every every month you're spending money on this, and the other. You need to save more or whatever. So yeah, so digital has its pros because it's the convenience. It allows you to track what you're doing because via the reporting. So what else could I say that I like about digital? I guess it's safer in some sense because, but not in every sense, because people can swipe, they can scan your cards and scan your card and your details. So it's not safe in its entirety, but I suppose everything has its pros and cons because if you carry cash, it's not safe either, kind of thing. So yeah, I'd probably just say pretty much that. Yeah.
Great. And Joe, over to you. Your digital money. Can't hear you, Joe. You're on mute. You're mute. Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just on. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, most of you discussed what the advantage of a digital transaction is. But the thing is, during a recession, during a market downturn, people often revert back to cash. But what I like most is the convenience of electronic transaction. Yeah, such as Apple, PayPal, they dominate the electronic environment and electronic transaction. And what I also understood is that, especially during COVID, a lot of the countries over, because of virus, we really moved over to digital during the because they say you could catch COVID through cash. So that forced the government and forced society to move towards more digital, you know, and government constantly promoting digital transaction, you know.
Mm.
But and then the issues of blockchain, ways that we can actually make payments digitally without being traced by the tax and so forth, blockchain, crypto, etc. So for me, the advantage is speed of convenience, and transparency and traceability of these transactions, you know, and it reduces possible crime because we're doing our transaction electronic, we're doing our shopping electronically. And then, you know, it also promotes tax evasion, especially if you're doing blockchain or crypto. Yeah, because that way the bank, central bank, government cannot trace us. Whereas if we have cash or we suddenly got a big sum of cash, 10,000, want to put it in the bank, the bank managers has a duty of care to query where you got that money from. And the other side is if you wanted to withdraw money out, they also control that. So I am inclined to do like this crypto blockchain transaction
Mhm.
so that the government has no control. But that's what I like about digital currency: convenience, speed, and to a certain extent, not traceable.
Great, great. Okay, so thanks for that, Joe. I think obviously what we have to be careful about is mixing up digital currency with digital money with the crypto side of things, because the governments have been working together, the central banks of the different countries, probably over 100 plus countries, have been working together on putting together something for the digital currency. Yeah. Now the digital currency that they're looking at right now is a currency that is programmable. It's a little bit intelligent but programmable. That means that when you spend your money, you don't just spend your money. The money you're spending has rules where you can spend it. So, for example, they may say, right, here's £100. That's your voucher to go and buy some food. Yeah. Now, if you try and buy anything else with that voucher, it will say, nope, that's for food. Or they might say, here's some money. You can use this money up to this certain date. And then guess what? If you don't use it before that date, it expires on you. Yeah. So some of the governments, not necessarily the UK government, but some of the governments are sitting together trying to put these things together, these rules. So the digital money that we're talking about is money that has rules and money that listens to instructions. So that means that the problem with that is a lot of people are talking about the control now, the control center. Some of us, we're talking about digital ID. Well, your money is going to be digital and it's going to know who you are by the time you have digital money. So I think knowing what I've just said right now, yeah, your money is going from cash into digital money, but not just money with digits like you have right now. Because at the moment, when we talk about digital money with our card, with our contact list, with all these things, we're talking about money, the cash turning into digits. But now we're saying that cash is not just turning into digits, it's going to have rules. They can apply rules to it. So you may have a situation where they need the economy to be better and you're not spending, you got money in the bank, and they could actually have a rule where they can expire. If you don't spend this money by this time, then it can expire on you. Yeah. And then whatever. So that's what. Now the government, we've heard of cryptocurrency. The mother of all cryptocurrency we know is Bitcoin. isn't it? Yeah. So the digital money that the UK government's coming out with, yeah, is called, guess what it's called? It's called Britcoin. Britcoin. Not Bitcoin, Britcoin. Why Brit, BRIT coin, and then there's Bitcoin. Now, now I don't get it. I don't get why would they
Plagiarism.
obviously they're trying to say Britain starts with Brit and then coin. But come on, that's going to confuse the living daylights out of some people. Yeah, as they think they're buying Bitcoin and they're buying Bitcoin or they got Bitcoin. Yeah. So I think with that, I know that Rosanna is into that kind of thing with regards to, because I work closely with Rosanna in terms of decentralization. And we talk about this again. We need, like we say, we need to break free. And this book, if you want to know more about centralization and decentralization, you need to get this book. Read it. Everybody needs to read this book. It needs to be your Christmas present too, for everybody else. Yeah. But you see what we have at the moment, just before I bring Rosanna in, what we have at the moment is we have a centralized finance. What do I mean by centralized finance? If Joe wants to pay Bosse, can Joe pay Bosse directly if it's in his bank? Yeah, he can pay Bosse directly if he has cash, isn't it? But if he has digital money, guess what? Joe has to go through his bank, an intermediary, isn't it? And his bank now pays Bosse. Now, what's the middleman doing? Collecting charges, isn't it? Monitoring where money's going. Yeah. Can decide on whether they want to approve it or not. Yeah. And also can delay the transaction. So what if we could move that middleman out the way? What if, yeah, Joe can pay Bosse without the middleman, without the bank? What do you think would happen? It's faster. Yeah, it's going to be more convenient. There's going to be cheaper because you don't have a middleman collecting. A lot of these financial institutions and banks and so on have built their billions and trillions on just being the middleman. Now, the reason why most people need the middleman is because they trust the middleman. Joe may not trust Bosse, but Joe trusts his bank. Bosse may not trust Joe, but Bosse trusts her bank. But guess what? With decentralization, we have transparency. Yeah. We also have, you can't change it. It's immutable. And therefore, we don't need trust. Trust is not required because everything is there. So I think on that note, I'm going to bring Rosanna in because I know Rosanna can shed some light on this too. Rosanna, digital money, crypto money, what's going on?
Well, again, it's about awareness and education. You know, people don't understand the importance of be aware of what's happening, and they just go with the flow, isn't it? Oh, they say this and just follow the flow, you know. Oh, they say do that. Nobody question anything. Only a few people question, and it's not a matter of question for criticism. It's question to understand because you know everything is happening so fast, and it's like, okay, so why is it happening? You know, where is it gonna lead me? And as human being. You know, we talk about our rights and our own freedom and our own rights to make decisions in our lives. Now, if we look around just UK, are we really free to do what we want? Have we really have the independence? Really? And that's where the beauty of the digital crypto blockchain comes in. And it's beautiful because it was created by the people, you know, not by any above power. And it's been created for the people, by the people, for the people. And it's truly probably, I would say in our time, the best time to actually understand it. That's why that book, Breaking Free, probably the best Christmas present you could give to someone this year, because it actually can change completely their life for the good, not for the bad. At the time they were living in, I will recommend it to literally, is easy, is enlightening, is empowering, and it will actually change completely the way you start to look at money and the way you start to look at the digital world completely. And the beauty of it is that that knowledge will empower each one of us to become independent and to be in control with transparency. No confusion, not scared that, oh my goodness, is the bank gonna accept my payment? Or is above 3,000? Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? Now they're gonna come and check my account, they're gonna question me, and who knows, they're gonna block my account. How many of us has been in the situation? You know, where our account with our money that we work is being blocked. And you have to fight it and give all the explanation to get access to your own money. In the digital blockchain crypto world, call it whatever you want, you have nothing to worry about it. You're totally in control. However, you know, you need to understand it and to understand how the system works and how you can take advantage now of the system to protect yourself before it's too late. Because, you know, and it goes back to again, to awareness and knowledge. You know, look at Bitcoin. When it came out, you know, in 2008, 2009, you could buy a coin for 8 pence, you know, nothing. And how many of us bought it?
No,
None, hardly any. We were scared of what? You know, how many of us now, without even having the full knowledge and understanding of how it works, will want to go back and buy 10, 20, even one, you know, knowing the value now, 15 years. And it's the same. It's exactly the same. We saw it. Was it a scam? Was it really a scam? No, it transformed few individuals' life that we wish took the same risk. Now we have the technology, we have the tools to understand it. It's up to us to become free and make that choice. But it's up to us individual. And for people like us that understand it, I feel is my responsibility to at least help people, make them aware there is actually there is the positivity of the blockchain, of the crypto, despite everything of what the media say and what people say is about, you know, make people inform and give them the option to choose.
Right, right.
I just wanted to ask you a question. With there's issue with this crypto and blockchain, the government wants to interject and put their paws on the transaction or control it because they don't like the fact that you're going away from central bank. They ain't making any money. Putting our money in the bank, literally, we put £10, the bank makes £100. Is that fair? They tell us how we can take your money, as you said. My question is, what do you think about central government wanting to find out what is going in crypto, peer-to-peer system of transaction?
Well, again, it's about control, isn't it? The power. And this is where the people needs to wake up and understand it. It's a game. It's simply a game. Listen, there always be, you know, how many, you know, we're talking about the 3% of the population in the world is wealthy. 3%. How do they do it? And they do it all legally, not illegally, right? So it's up to us. They took the time, invested time on themselves to understand how the system works. Is it painful? Is it hard? Of course. Otherwise, everybody will do it. If you see the value at the end of the day, you know, you start to look at it and say, you know what? Forget about, you know, follow the crowd. Let me think with my own head now and let me make my own research because there's always a solution. There's always a solution. It might take longer, but there's always a solution. But majority of people follow the crowd and find the easier way. And then after, when they face the consequences, they're like, oh my God. I mean, we see with COVID. It's a clear example. And there, what happened there should have actually, that's what it did to me. It woke me up. And I became the Rosanna that I'm today. That wasn't 4 or 5 years ago. That in all the negativity, it actually did fantastic to me because it shook me. And I started to look and I started to think with my own brain stop watching the news, and now I look specifically for news. I search what I want to see, not what they want me to hear, you know. And it's the same with the propaganda they're doing with the central, you know. Now look, all the central bank are having their own digital coin, the Britcoin.
Yeah.
And people, what do? They follow, they pay attention. They don't think, oh, Bitcoin, what does it mean? So what's the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin? They don't look at it. They just think, oh, well, you know, there's Bitcoin, there is Bitcoin. Hello? Listen, there is a huge difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin, you know?
There is more control, and the other one is freedom of transaction, freedom of international transaction and one-to-one transaction without control. And it's all about the book, centralization, decentralization.
Exactly. And the point is all about taking the time. There's always, you know, during the pandemic, they said, oh, if you don't take it, you can fly. You can. People without the travel. How is it possible? Because there's always a solution. You just need to look for it instead of following the crowd. So yes, the system, the government want power, want control. They're gonna try, and who knows if they're gonna be able to. But now, as we are, they can't. So why not use now instead of thinking what if, and use the opportunity now to understand it and use it as much as we can to become independent and free. That's my view.
Yeah, I think before I bring Boss in, thanks for that, for Joe and Rosanna. But you know, one of the things that Rosanna said, which rings a bell, is that Bitcoin. I think reason why most people didn't buy Bitcoin at the time is because people were saying it was a scam. That's why people, and when people hear the word scam, obviously everyone gets scared. And anything new is a scam if you don't understand it. Yeah, most of the time. There are scams that are called scams, and there are legitimate things that are also called scams. Yeah, the legitimate things that are called scams are the ones that people see they're working but don't understand why they're working. Yeah, so what it is if you think about it carefully, the banks were scared, the financial institutions were scared. They could not allow this to come in without an attack.
Without control.
Imagine they allowed it to come in without an attack. There'd be no banks today. There will be no financial institutions today. Everything will be done by people to people. So they are protecting their business, and still they're protecting their business. Now they're losing the battle. They're losing the battle. The banks are losing the battle. So guess what? They're clever. They said, you know what? We trust cryptocurrency. So guess what? Bring your cryptocurrency home. Bring it home. We are renowned for protecting digital money. You trusted us with your digital money. Now trust us with your digital currency, your cryptocurrency. Now trust us with your cryptocurrency. Because guess what? When they get that cryptocurrency in, they can start making money again with it. Because guess what? The money that you see on your bank account, the digits that you see in your bank account, if you have, Bosse has 20 million in her bank account and Joe has 50 million in the bank account, it's not in the bank account, it's just digits. They're trading with your money. They're spending your money. They're making more money with your money. They're doing everything with your money. And then you're saying, the reason why you go to the bank, Boss, and say, can I have 3,000? Or Rosanna, can I have 3,000? And they say, why do you want 3,000? What is the reason? Because the money's not there. The money is not there, mate. You need to give us time to be able to get the money back. So book an appointment to get your own money.
Can I just
let Bosse come in. Joe, let Bosse come in because she hasn't spoken for a while. Let Bosse come in, please. Joe, let Bosse.
Just because before I forget what you just said. In 2008, I sold my house in London and I decided to buy a house in Stevenage. My bank, Barclays Bank, had all the money, about 65k. And I went to them and I said, please, could you lend me money to get a mortgage? Guess what they say? They wanted my DNA. They said no. They point blank tell me no. But they were willing to keep my money and make more money with that.
Yeah, but who's the person who allowed it? Who allowed it?
Yeah.
Joe,
I
imagine,
didn't know any better.
Joe, imagine you'd bought Bitcoin.
You know, and yeah.
Joe, listen, we would not be able to book an appointment to see you.
I didn't trust Bitcoin.
No.
2008, I came across Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The book about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
But listen, it's the propaganda that they use. They needed to protect their business. Look how much money do you think the banks are turning over every week, every day, every week? Come on, they can't allow that to just go just because now you guys want control of your money. Yeah, you guys now have a system that you can take care of your money and you don't need to trust anyone anymore. Their business is down the pan. Joe, Bosse, over to you. Sorry. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, this conversation is very interesting, and yeah. So one thing that I want to pick up on is when you said that the reason why people didn't trust Bitcoin, you know, because there was propaganda about it being a scam. Now, when I first got introduced to Bitcoin, it was over 10 years ago now, well over 10 years ago. So it could have been around 2013. Now, a gentleman that was in the know would just happen to talk to me about it, and me and my partner at the time, and he said, look, you guys should go and buy some Bitcoin. It's really cheap. Just invest. I can't even it might have been a low amount. And that was over 10 years ago. If I had listened, my instinct was, let's go and do it. And then my partner at the time said, no, not a good idea. Don't know enough about it. And I was like, no, I've got something telling me this guy knows what he's talking about. He's in the group of the knowers, know how trends are happening and things are going. I regret that, because if I had bought the Bitcoin when he has said, I would have made a lot of money. So I don't want to miss out on trends again. And it's through lack of education as well. Because sometimes with people, if they don't understand something, they can easily kind of like be consumed by the propaganda and people saying, oh, it's a scam, or it's this. You need to educate yourself. And I think that as Rosanna was saying, it's about awareness and education. And there's a lot of people that are experiencing things with their bank and money. They're not happy about it, but they're not kind of understanding where things are going or what to do. And it's because there's lots of information out there and they're being overwhelmed by it. I was overwhelmed. Cryptocurrency, blockchain, digital currency. Oh, I was like, oh, I don't want to hear any more about this. It's too much information. But as soon as you connect the dots for me, you've got my buy-in. I now understand why we need to be concerned about these things, because it's broken down to me in a way where I'm locked in. I understand the impact. I understand how it's going to benefit me. I want to know more. And that's with a lot of people. So it is about education. It's about awareness, and it's about educating people, but making them understand how it solved a problem with something they can relate to. So my thing with the digital currency being something that I should start to understand, I should be invested in, came about when someone recently was explaining to me about SARS, what happened in Nigeria and SARS. And SARS concerned people in Nigeria that were protesting about the injustices going on in Nigeria and the government. And a lot of the protesters were being brutally injured by police and treated. And, they were locking them up. And they, as a result of that, a lot of the protesters didn't have access to any of their money. And then they couldn't access their accounts. And then people were trying to send them money through donations. And then when the donations were being blocked, because through the government freezing their accounts, there was a gentleman that introduced some sort of app whereby they could send money through a decentralized system, which meant they can now receive donations. And these people that were suffering, that hadn't eaten, that couldn't survive, could now receive funds via this digital currency system, payment method. And then they could then start to kind of like feel a little bit better and start to survive and actually, heal from what was going on. So that is the importance of digital currency and payment methods like, cryptocurrency and then blockchain coming into effect. We all need to educate ourselves that we could, this is something that could really empower us and help us. So even if we don't necessarily understand everything or will even kind of like sign up to all of this, it's having the awareness, and then you can make your own decisions, you know. So it's connecting the dots for people to say, look, imagine people went through some big problems, and guess what helped them out? Digital currency, digital, you know, payment methods, cryptocurrency, you know, blockchain. So yeah, so I think education awareness is important, and that is what hopefully we will help people through what we're talking about, you know, make decisions.
Right, right. I mean, I like the fact that the government obviously were closing in on them. They wanted to starve them. They wanted to suffocate them with no money and so on. And then suddenly, decentralization comes to your rescue. The people. It's not when we say decentralization comes to your rescue. It's the people that are coming to your rescue,
Yeah.
because the people are in control of the decentralized systems. Yeah. The centralized system is usually the centralized organizations and the banks and so on, you know, and so forth. Yeah. The challenge we're having right now is, like I've said to already, that a lot of the centralized authorities are understanding that they need to control the people, because they say roughly about 10% of people, or UK people anyway, have owned some crypto, but they're not actively active, but they own some. But then again, 70% of people don't trust it. Yeah, they don't trust it. Yeah. So where the trust comes is where the trust is knowledge. Yeah. And that's why myself and Chris co-wrote this book, because what we're sick and tired of hearing is people saying they don't trust the crypto, they don't trust blockchain. And the reason why they don't trust is because they don't understand. They don't have the knowledge.
Totally
And
agree, Tony.
the
Yeah.
people that are selling them the knowledge are selling them the bad knowledge, because they're protecting their business. So the key thing is what we're doing right now, and I'm working alongside with Rosanna, is what we're doing right now is anyone that buys the ebook of this, yeah, which you can get on mydefi.com, anyone that buys the ebook of this, we will get you started on crypto for free. Yeah, you get a crypto business for free. And the whole reason for that is, as you read, you need to apply. So you need to learn. And that's the key thing. So I think one of the main thing is lack of knowledge. And then even when you have the knowledge, it's the lack of application of the knowledge. But with this, it kills two birds with one stone. You've got the knowledge, and you've got somewhere to apply the knowledge that you're learning, so that you can then, therefore, confidently be able to be independent, decentralized. Everybody especially our community is going to be the worst affected, the Black and minority community, because they are the cash cows. They're the people that like cash, the barbers, the hairdressers. All these people are going to be in big problems when the digital money comes out. But guess what? If they get quickly into decentralization, into the crypto market, and it's a big market, yeah, guess what? It's just like cash, but decentralized. Yeah, that's what we have. So I think one of the things that we need to understand is that we are here to help everybody. We're here to help everybody. So what I want to understand from everyone on this call is how can you help? The other thing I want to attack is, because I know Joe is into cybersecurity. The problem we have now with digital money is that the cyber attacks are running into trillions of dollars every year. So obviously there's opportunity in terms of that side of things. But what we need to understand is that's the digital money. That's not necessarily the crypto. So we got to be careful. We've got to distinguish between cryptocurrency and digital money. Because what's going to happen very soon is the government's going to start making you believe that they're the same.
All right, we're going to stop there. I want to say thank you very much for all the listeners. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for liking also and commenting. We want you to like and comment and share. And definitely, if you haven't subscribed already, click on the subscribe button and the notify so that you are notified of the next part. So part 3, which is the final part of this, where you're going to hear Joe, you're going to hear Rosanna, you're going to hear Bosse, you're going to hear myself just summarize, because I know some of you are confused between what is digital money, what is digital currency, what is cryptocurrency, cash, is it dead or alive? We're going to iron that all out. And we're going to also share with you what we're going to do for you, how we can help for you as a team. And remember, if you really want to break free from these things, get the Breaking Free book over there. Get the Breaking Free book. It's a great Christmas present. It's a great present, and it's great for you to add value to yourself. So that's me, Tony, from the Game Challenger UK YouTube channel. I'd like to say, remember, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you. Over and out.